If you feel like everyone is ahead of you, stop that thought right now. No one actually tells you when you feel lost, unmotivated, you're questioning everything in life that you're not behind. You're not broken. And the fact that you feel lost right now, it's not a sign that you've failed. It's actually evidence that something extraordinary is about to shift in your life. It feels so heavy right now because we have been conditioned to believe that clarity is linear, that success has a timeline, that if you're not married with kids by 32 or have 100K coming in every single month, that you're behind. You haven't missed anything. There is not a train that you have forgotten to get on. You are on the right track. If you've ever caught yourself late at night, scrolling through your newsfeed, comparing your life to someone else on social media, thinking they're further ahead, they have it better, things are happening easier for them, then I want you to stick with me. In today's video, I'm going to teach you how you can use that feeling as fuel, as momentum to get yourself to where you want to be. Something that has helped shape my mindset over the past decade is knowing that the feeling of being lost is really just a sign of redirection. It just means that everything that is happening around you, number one, is happening for you, but number two, it is pushing you to make a decision and to make change right now. But before we go deeper, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, I am Jess Pinili. If you're looking for a channel that is going to go beyond surface level advice, such as think positive and manifest harder, I'm your woman. If you love the topic of this video and you're not yet subscribed, it would really help me create more videos like this if you hit the subscribe button and hit the bell notification so you do not miss the next video. I like to use this channel to go deeper into any quick tips and hacks to help you understand how you can actually make a change in not only your life, but your business. So if you're ready for a blend of both strategy and subconscious work, hit the subscribe button and let's get into today's video. Let's start with the most toxic belief that you can have when it comes to your growth, which is, I am behind. To overcome this belief, I really had to question myself. Behind who? Behind what? Where did I create this imaginary benchmark that all of a sudden I am perceiving that I am behind in life? We live in a culture that profits from your comparison because social media has created us to consume with absolutely no context. So if you're watching the TikToks and the Instagram reels of someone buying your dream house, going on that luxurious holiday, or building a business of your dreams, and you start comparing yourself, I want you to remember this. You're not failing. You're not late. You've simply conditioned yourself with the belief that you are behind, that you constructed yourself. A lot of the time, what we consume on social media is all smoke and mirrors, and this is something that I had to really work on understanding. But here's exactly what your brain might not be realizing and what my brain definitely wasn't when I had the belief I'm behind. Number one, you don't see the sacrifice, the real sacrifice of the 8 years someone has put into the work to become an overnight success. And they normally don't show the sacrifice until they have become successful. Number two, you probably aren't seeing the debt, the tears, all of the failures, all of the decisions that took them in the wrong direction. And number three, you probably haven't seen their access, their privilege, and their starting point to their journey. And because our nervous systems crave safety, your brain is interpreting someone else's win as a threat. That's why comparison feels so heavy, because it's a biological response. But I need you to remember this. Comparison is a distortion. It absolutely strips away nuance, and it makes you judge your entire worth based on someone's highlight reel of their life. So every time that you were sitting alone and you were scrolling your newsfeed and you were telling yourself, I'm behind, I want you to instead ask yourself these questions. According to who? Whose metric am I measuring against? And who benefits from believing I'm behind? Feeling behind is a manufactured illusion. The only timeline that I want you to worry about is the one that your nervous system and your subconscious identity can actually sustain. Now, if you're already resonating with what I'm saying, I highly recommend getting into my free 5-day training series, Path to the Next Edge. I dive deeper into the nervous system and the subconscious identity and how to get them to work for you, not against you. This 5-part training series is designed to take you from your current level to your next edge. The sign up link is in the description below. Now let's talk about the other thing that social media does. Social media sells speed. It glamorizes the 90-day glow up. It glamorizes the one funnel to become a millionaire. It glamorizes the 12-week shred. But remember, transformation is not linear. In fact, it's chaotic at times, it's absolutely messy, and sometimes it does not make sense. This is why we revert back to comparing ourselves to people that we believe is making sense of our chaotic, messy mess. Something that took me a really, really long time to actually grasp is that our brain is wired for certainty. It correlates any uncertainty with being unsafe. But unfortunately, growth and change in your life, in your business, in your career, in your money requires uncertainty because it is different. I bring this up to you because when you're consuming social media, you're basically consuming quick dopamine hits. Consuming quick dopamine hits means that we aren't factoring in that the change that we want in our life is not linear. The highlight reels are going to show you the 100K month, the house bought, the brand new supercar that someone has bought. But what isn't factored into all of this is the fact that change requires dysregulation. Dysregulation to your nervous system is a threat. This is why every time that you start to make a change, you start to go into a spiral of comparing yourself because the brain sees that change as threatening. And if it sees something as threatening, it's going to do whatever it can to shut you down and to get you back to your normalized baseline. For example, if you're in business and you're hitting 10K months and your next goal is 50K months, if you start consuming social media that is showing you online founders and creators and educators making $50,000 per month, straight away you go, wow, okay, this is actually possible. You then start to set up your business systems to bring in $50,000. But because you haven't normalized this baseline in your nervous system, in your subconscious identity, this looks like a threat. So the moment that you start to create momentum, the moment that you start to have conversations with ideal clients, the moment that you start to change your packages, if you subconsciously do not believe that is safe, your brain is going to do whatever it can to make you stop. This is where we fall into the comparison trap. We start to create narratives that we are behind, that we're not good enough, that we are not worthy, and so we start to act accordingly. This is why you can simultaneously be working towards a goal, but still wake up and feel that no matter what you do, it's not good enough, that it's too hard, that you'll never get the goal that you want because you're not meant for it. Or a big one that I see with my clients is that nothing actually excites them. It's because you're stuck in this in-between where your body, your subconscious identity and nervous system is quite literally fighting itself. I want you to think of it like software. Your old program cannot run your next level reality. So you quite literally have to uninstall the code that is currently running, the code that is telling you, if we go back to the original example, 50K months are not meant for you, and install a brand new program, software, that is going to support that goal of 50K months. The buffering process is exactly why you feel lost. But what is going to make you different from 99% of other people is that you are going to realize this next time you get stuck in a comparison trap, in a spiral, and feeling like you can't achieve what you really want to do. You're going to become highly consciously aware, and instead of following down that spiral, you're going to question, exactly why am I thinking like this, and why does my body believe that this next goal I'm trying to achieve feels unsafe? But what I will say on that is waiting for motivation is the fastest way to stay stuck. Motivation is not a prerequisite. It is actually a byproduct of the way that you are choosing to move in life. Your nervous system isn't actually releasing dopamine when you think about changing. It's releasing it when you act, when you disrupt a pattern, when you stack a small win. I know that we have all used the phrase, I will start when I'm ready. I am definitely guilty of this one. But instead of thinking of your ultimate goal, I need you to break it down into micro steps. It's going to be easier for you to every single day work towards that bigger goal. Most high achievers look at the big goal and they just think, how can I achieve that right now? Instead of allowing themselves the space, time, and energy to break it down into micro movements towards the goal. And on top of that, you need to remove distractions in your life, in your business, in the way that you handle your money, in your relationships. What is actually distracting you from locking in to the version of you that is achieving the goal that you want to achieve? And I bring this point of motivation up because when we are stuck scrolling on social media, it's really, really easy to say to ourselves either, I'm not ready, or I just need more motivation. And what I've seen time and time again with myself, with my clients, is motivation actually isn't a problem. Do you notice that when you start to achieve something and you start to see results, gym, for example, you become more motivated? That's because, again, the dopamine is released from your nervous system when you are acting. But it's really finding that fine line of moving the needle towards your goal and expanding your capacity to normalize a different baseline and reverting back to the same behavior every single day that isn't moving the needle in a different way. I've had so many high achieving women work with me and they say, I am doing absolutely everything I possibly can to move the needle in my life and business, but I'm not getting different results. And my answer to them is this: if you are doing the same thing within a 90-day period, harder, more, to the point of hustling and burnout and feeling resentful in the process, you are never going to get the results that you truly desire. Yes, that way of behaving and taking action may have worked up until this point, but it is not going to work to get you to the next point. And so it comes back to what I said. Instead of trying to do the same thing harder and more, instead I want you to break down your big goal into micro steps and plan it out. Everything you do needs to be able to move the needle closer, not make you feel like you're making leeway, but instead you have results to show you that you are. Progress is not created in giant leaps. It's created in the tiny, repeated cues that you do every single day. That then expands our nervous system to experience more and to normalize a new baseline. I want you to think of nervous system expansion like this. Imagine that you have a balloon and you go to blow up a balloon. What happens when you blow up the balloon? You get to a point where you need to stop, because if you keep going anymore with blowing the balloon, it's going to pop in your face. And so to avoid that, we get to a certain point where we blow up the balloon, we stop, we tie it up, and we let it go. That is exactly how I want you to see your nervous system when it comes to expanding your capacity. Any time that you are getting to the point where you're about to cross over to that next edge, the nervous system gets to the point where the balloon is about to burst and it goes, abort. SOS, this is dangerous, this is a threat. You need to constrict yourself instead. And this is how we get into the habit of comparing ourselves, guilt spirals, and sabotaging the progress that we have been making, which then keeps us in a cycle of doing the same thing over and over again, feeling like we are working towards our goal when in fact we're not. We just keep getting to the point where we're about to expand and then we constrict back down to our baseline. The key is in that expansion is allowing yourself to expand and exploring, just like we did at the beginning of this video, why you keep telling yourself you're behind, why you keep comparing yourself to other people. Where did your internal benchmark for behind actually come from? And this is why when you feel like you're behind, it isn't a sign that you're failing. It isn't a sign that you're never going to reach your goals and intentions in life. It's actually a sign that you are on a track that no longer serves you. You are at a position now where you can make a decision and you need to choose to make a decision to do things differently. This is why people can stay in the same cycles and patterns of behavior for years and years and years and feel like they are going nowhere, because they're not. But I know that you are watching this video because you are going somewhere. You are meant for great things. You are here to live a life of freedom and abundance, but it only will happen if every single time you get to the point where you're expanding, instead of going into the comparison trap, instead of going down a guilt spiral, you question exactly why you are afraid to go to the next edge. Now, if this video cracks something open inside of you, this is the exact discussions and work we do inside of Women Mastery HQ. This hybrid membership is for women who want to not only scale their success and double their income, but also create and embed the self-concept that can handle it without sabotaging every time you get to the next level of success. If you want to take everything I've spoken to you about beyond theory and actually live it and know how to sustain it, head to the first link in the description box below to join us inside of Woman Mastery HQ. And after you've done that, I want you to head to this next video. If you are burnt out and you don't know what to do next and you don't know how to get out of the burnout cycle that stems from constantly comparing yourself, click over to my next video. Let's move you out from the lost and stuck phase to the phase where you are aligned, unstoppable, and everything you dream of achieving is absolutely possible. I'll see you in the next video.